here to share a few points on how to stay out of tax trouble. Let's jump in today with the first part of a two-part tax series, and I titled it If I Die. And I do admit to making headlines to attract a little bit of social media attention. And the reality is, though, that the number one reason that I get calls for business tax services is the former accountant died. Small business accounts are quite literally dying at the desk. And usually the story goes that there were no provisions made or arrangements made for transition. So let's talk about that a little bit more here today. So small business accountants, the ones that serve micro businesses like me, tend to be with very small firms. I'm a solo practitioner. All of the other people and services are contractors contracted out remotely. In the old days, in a perfect world, we would say, okay, if I'm your accountant and I become disabled, and by the way, becoming disabled and incapacitated is way more statistically likely than dying suddenly. So if I become incapacitated or if I die, the ideal would be for us to have an arrangement like in the old days. My nephew Vinny has a tax practice down the road, and we have arrangements for him to step into the office and take over existing clients. Well, that's how it used to be. That's not how it is anymore. Everything is online, everything is automated. My job in protecting clients is to make sure, number one, that the documents are secure and accessible, that there are secure, accessible files and folders on standardized servers that you and my heirs can pass on that information so that you can access that. And in most cases, if you're a client of mine, you already know how to access your online secure portal. The second thing is to make sure that there are service providers. And again, it's not like my cousin or my nephew Vinny down the road. Now it's online firms, big firms that have armies of contracted workers at fairly standardized prices that can step in on short notice. I don't usually mention brand names, but in this case, Quicken QuickBooks is the number one accounting software for small firms. You can immediately contract for them to take over. If I'm doing certain tax and accounting services, you can immediately contract them to pick up and take over right from there. So that's the way it is now. That's what happens if I'm out of the picture, can't be reached, incapacitated. Your tax and accounting work is secure based on modern technology, not necessarily the old way of passing the firm on to another practitioner. That's it for today. I will be back tomorrow with a discussion of if you die, and that's or become incapacitated. That's also a very common scenario where I have to deal with the family and relatives and employees of a business owner that's no longer able to take care of things. Would welcome your feedback, thoughts, comments on this topic, or I can be reached individually at taxproblems.ca.